Hi.
Hello.
What a day and what a night.
Well, as we told you, this is a work in progress. We're learning every week. Things are getting better, but it's getting there. Pretty soon, we're going to have this where any of our platforms you can just show up at, and this will be live on all of them.
It was supposed to go that way tonight. We were going to try to use this new stuff we've got and go to YouTube and to Facebook.
Yeah, neither one of us had much faith in that happening.
Well, you know, it's us. What are you going to do? All right. So, Stephen, good evening. Hello, Amanda, Deborah, Wendy, Noelle. Noelle's back to spread more misinformation.
Oh, yeah.
Who died this week, Noelle?
We should just have her do a misinformation update every week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We'll let that go eventually, I promise.
I want to try something here real quick. I'm going to say, hi, Wendy. See, look at that. We can put comments on the screen.
Hey, I love that. I can read that, actually.
That's kind of neat. At least that works.
Yeah, at least Wendy can get through.
Yeah, so it's crazy. In the process of all this, and we've talked about this before, and I'm not complaining because I love it, but the learning curve, and there's so much stuff, and as we add more stuff to it, and as we're doing more and trying more, it gets wild.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Over the years, when Tony and I first started as a team, we would alternate running the board. And one of us would, be behind the control board and everything. And then when we got to San Diego, Mike Shepard, in a very polite way, who we love dearly, and he phrased it so well, was like, Kris, you're so clever and you're so funny. Maybe we should have you focusing on that and let Tony run the board. When what he was saying is, your attention span and board work's awful. Well, so let's get you over there.
It was a double kick in the ass because what he's ultimately saying to me is, you're not that funny anyway, so why don't you just run the board?
That's right. You know what? I said he was a great guy. I take it back.
He's kind of an ass, and he puts both of us right in the face.
Take that, Shep.
Featured question here that I think is a good one from Deborah. Kris, are you growing a mustache?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a story behind it. And I don't know. I hate it. I don't want it, but I feel like I owe it to Rachel.
Yes, it's your gift to her
yes,
this holiday
Rachel
season.
made a comment one night that she thought Ted Lasso was cute or sexy or something. And I went, oh, really? And I said, well, I'm growing a Ted Lasso mustache now. And she kind of giggled a little bit. And I think she thought that was the end of it. And I started that mustache right then and there.
I mean, you're a man who, during COVID, cut a mohawk into it.
Yeah.
She thinks you won't grow a mustache?
Yeah. And so... And I told her I was thinking about when I get rid of it, just shaving just a little bit off the ends all the way until I get to the middle. And she's terrified that I'm going to end up with a Hitler mustache. But what I love is my mother-in-law is here this week. And what I love is she last night just sat down on the couch and goes, so where are we going with this? Talking about my mustache.
I wish you had just gone all the way.
Oh, I do like that.
Whatever that means.
I wish I would have thought of that, but I didn't.
Nervous, though.
So yes, I am right now growing a mustache, but that could change hour to hour.
I don't. 8 Bale 19827. Hi, low. How you doing?
I'm sorry to go back to the mustache thing, but
we can do.
I've also been stealing an old Norm Macdonald bit. When people have asked me about it, I say it's for a movie role, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to be in a movie?" And he goes, "Nah, but those directors are always looking for guys with big bushy mustaches." So I'm just going to be ready.
You'll be ready. You need, no further preparation necessary.
Exactly. I got the mustache.
I got everything you need right there. It's all right to step away and get a coaster. I don't want to mess up our nice little desk here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I'd say some. Noelle says I'm fact-checking myself from now on. You better. Hi, Julie. Good to see you. Patty, what's up? Hello, Kelly. Good to see everybody. Great to see everyone. We're so glad you're here.
And thank you again, everybody, for spreading the word about the show. We did a thing the other night, and it's still on our Facebook, I believe, and Instagram if you want to find it, where it just said, wish us a Merry Christmas from wherever you are, just to see how many different parts of the country and the world people are tuning in. We've had people from England and Norway, and it's just so cool. And then so many folks that there was a lady, and I apologize for not getting the name, but she immediately subscribed to our YouTube channel. Nice. But she goes, I met you guys we were doing cow chip bingo in the Santee parking lot. And what that is we had a big giant board with numbers on it, and people got to win a certain square, and we turned a cow loose in there, and wherever the cow crapped, that person won.
Which is a much better, I mean, that was really an improvement, because in the initial designs, it was going to be Kris that did it.
Yeah.
And we decided maybe a cow would be more...
Santee law enforcement, even back then, were just teetotalers.
No fun allowed.
None.
Like that was the first time somebody pooped in that Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, I assure you it's happened in the past hour.
Guaranteed.
Probably in the store, on an aisle.
Stephen, are you getting Man Great as a sponsor?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I would like to. I would like any sponsors. Everybody we got so far. Bennett Gallery in Nashville. They're relatively new there, and they've got a location here on Kingston Pike, Bennett. And they got furniture from Italy and all over the place. They've stepped up this week, and we really appreciate them.
Yeah, always nice to see businesses who want to help us out a little bit. Your father-in-law. Love you guys.
Oh, I love Mike. He is.
I love you, Mike.
And you know what? I'm going to make him blush a little bit. He is the kindest man I've ever seen. And he knows cars inside and out. And he'll fly on a plane or drive all night to get here. And I'll walk outside and my truck will be on blocks. And he'll be like, okay, you got a brake job. I rotated your tires. And I'll be like, dude, take a break. And he's just always, and if either one of us, anybody right now called and said, hey, I need a kidney, I think he would say, hey, if I'm a match, I'll do it for you. I mean, he's that.
If he's looking to work on a car when he's here in town again,
he'll do it.
Mike, I'll give you our address. Do you work on Land Rovers?
He told Shane that. He saw Shane. He goes, hey, if you ever need help with the car, I'm your guy.
Nice. Excellent. Now, it's not going to be like the dude on Seinfeld.
No. He knows his stuff.
I love that.
He knows his stuff.
Mike's good people. Let's see. Julie, good call on the cow poop. Thanks, Julie. Steven says that was a Norm Macdonald reference, and you didn't get it. Well.
Love Norm.
Let's see. Greetings from San Diego. Hello there. Not sure. I can't tell what your name is based on that, but great to see you. That's one of the things I'm loving about being on YouTube and doing these shows and the lives here is getting to reconnect with everyone from our past, from all over the country. I saw some of those Christmas greetings you were talking about coming in from like Illinois and Michigan and places where we used to be on. I saw Montana and Wyoming. And
John Pappas checked in. From New York, and he started following us in the early 90s in San Diego. And we've been up to New York multiple times, and every time we just miss each other. It's like, we want to meet you face to face, and we're going to be here, and it just hasn't worked out, but someday we're going to do that.
For sure. I wish I could remember the details of the story. One time we were doing something talking about like where the strange place you fell asleep, I think it was. And we've done that many times. It's always good for a laugh. And John told us the craziest place he fell asleep was, I guess he
subway?
He took the train. I think he took the train home. So he worked in the city and then lived somewhere outside the city. And he said he fell asleep on the train and he missed his stop by like a state. And when he woke up, he was in a different state. And he was like, what the hell? So that was probably the worst.
That's kind of like one of those Twilight Zones where you fall off the bed into another dimension.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take a couple other things real quick. We want to say Lily just had her 13th birthday.
As I say 12.2, I kept telling her I was going to have her repeat 12 and she wasn't having it.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny how my kids make you feel old because they've gotten so old, but I'm already feeling old because she's 13.
Yeah, and she's taller than her mom now. And it's
a big moment.
Yeah, and then she rode up front for the first time the other day, because we've always had her in the back seat. And she was like, hey, can I ride up front? And I was
They've had her in a car seat this entire time. Safety is key.
And I was like, I guess so.
I guess so.
I put her up there. I didn't care for it at all.
Oh, okay, so that's Nancy. Oh, Nancy. I remember Nancy.
San Diego Nancy?
Yeah.
Nancy?
TK1 Nancy.
Love her.
Oh, man.
She helped us at so many golf tournaments and radiothons.
I'm assuming that's her. Maybe it could be a different Nancy. San Diego's a pretty big city. There might be more than one TK1 Nancy.
There's just one Nancy.
We should have numbered these people.
Yeah.
Noelle says, let's see. We'll go ahead and put it up on the screen. I think I can. What happened?
What'd she say?
There we go. Happy birthday, Lily. Can't believe Kris is a teenager. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it at all.
Amanda. Where are you, Amanda? Come on.
What'd she say?
Well, hang on. Now, see, it won't let me.
There we go.
My youngest turned 6 last Thursday. I was not ready.
Oh, it gets worse.
It only gets worse. I mean, it's just there comes a point when they reach an age when you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
it's not that bad. But all those years, those young years up to the teenage years and stuff, it's pretty wild. And then we should also mention, on the subject of birthdays, that your birthday's coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that until you mentioned it a little while ago.
Well, that's my job every year to remind him, hey, you got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, no joke. Remember in San Diego, the first couple of years we were there, we had to fill out all this paperwork back then. It wasn't computer stuff for the personnel record or something. And I wrote 11/12 down, not thinking about it.
Oh, right.
And so for like 3 or 4 years, November 12th would come around and I'd be like, oh, yeah, it's my birthday. Yeah. Yay. And then I realized eventually, like, oh, wait a minute. No, I was December 11th. So.
Got it wrong.
Yeah.
And we won't even talk about age.
Yeah. Let's don't get into that. I'm old enough to know I heard all over.
Deborah knows. Chris's birthday is December 11th.
Thank you, Deborah.
Noelle wants to know where you're partying at for your birthday.
I can tell you right now, I will be in bed by 8. I've hit that age now to where I'm like, 6 o'clock sure does seem like midnight.
That's when, and it's different when you have kids too. It's like, Katie's a night owl. She usually works into the night, and I, by trade, had to be a morning person because we were morning people. But now that we're on our own schedule, my regular bedtime now is about 1 a.m. I go to bed around 1, and then I get up whenever. I rarely ever set an alarm, which is pretty darn sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't set an alarm, but I take Lily to school 3 days a week.
There you go.
So I'm getting up about 7:15. I usually wake up about 6.
Yeah, you texted me at 7:30 this morning. I was none too pleased.
Why'd you have your phone ringer on?
I didn't, but I hear it because it's because it's on the nightstand. So I hear it.
I was like, I turn off everything on mine. I turn off the Wi-Fi, everything.
Not a bad idea, but if there's an emergency, I want to be able to.
I'm the last person that wants to answer the phone if it's an emergency. What am I going to do? I don't have to, it's like when that lady died next to me on the plane. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
died next to him.
Yeah, true story. Across the aisle from me, it was Mother's Day, coming back from Key West, Florida.
Terrible.
And there was a lady that, in all honesty, rest in peace, bless her heart, all that stuff.
Just say what you want to
She's
say.
about 108 years old.
I'll be in an autopsy.
Yeah.
Mysterious circumstances.
And her daughter, they were on a flight, and about halfway through, the lady, kicked it. And so I remember we're on the air talking about it the next day, and there was a lady that was over my shoulder, and I'm trying to watch a movie, and the lady, they got her laid out in the aisle right next to me.
Oh, that's gruesome.
And there's a flight attendant and a doctor that was on the plane. They're doing CPR on her, and I'm watching Batman. And the lady over my shoulder is asking them questions, and they keep going, "Ma'am, will you go back to your, sit back down, please?" And I'm just like, lady.
I mean, the first rule of these situations, if you watch movies or TV, is, hey, give her some room. Back up
exactly.
And give her some room.
And I'm like, and then everybody was mad at me going, why were you watching a movie? And I'm like, what am I going to do?
You're not a doctor.
This woman's having, to me, an incredibly private moment, dying. Yeah. And I'm like I'm and so I'm just there. If they need me, they can. And which at one point they tapped me, and I was like, yeah. And they're like, can you get a blanket? I'm sure. And I got him a blanket. There you go.
I'd be like, hey, I'd say, I'm not in an exit row. I did not agree to do anything.
No, I consider myself a hero for getting involved in helping there. But that's.
Did you give her the blanket that covered her face?
Yeah. Let me get that over her for you. She's been dead years. It's okay.
All right. Let's see what else we have. Kelly says, happy birthday, Lily. Happy early birthday, Chris.
Thank you.
Very nice. Renee, so glad to catch you guys. We're glad you're catching us too.
And if you catch us, you're responsible for finding somebody to subscribe to this channel for us.
Well, it's like the whole TK1 thing we've always done. If you don't know what that is, our most devoted listeners who spend a lot of time listening to us on the radio and we're just involved in the show and text back and forth, that we call them TK1s. They're special, and we're still going to continue that here. So I mean, if you're doing the job and you're on our YouTube page, that's awesome. If you are here watching this live and you haven't had a chance to subscribe, we certainly hope that you will. There's some good content going up. How about that short you put up the other day with like 3,000 views?
And it was the most stupid thing in the world. If you haven't seen it, go to our shorts on the YouTube channel.
That sounds so weird. Hey, go to my shorts and pull this out, will you?
Yes.
We got the lingo. We got to get the lingo right. So we're still working on
we
that.
just kicked off YouTube. Chris's language was offensive.
He's asking people to pull something out of his shorts. So terrible.
You remember when we first got to San Diego and we played a game called What's in Chris's Pants?
I do.
And every day we'd play a sound effect of something, like a lion roaring or a wood chipper or something, and people would have to call in and say, what's in my pants?
I'm not going to lie, we were pretty immature.
Yeah, we were very immature. We were 21 years old. I mean, we were kids. But
we learned pretty fast after the Doogie Howser OBGYN bit that people didn't care for that.
What's sad now is I hear DJs that are our age doing those kind of bits, and I'm like, oh, that's. I mean, I get it when you're 20 and you're a kid and you don't know any better, but when
make them around the house still, but
well,
maybe on an occasional live stream on
yes.
YouTube, I don't know. You were saying something else. I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Tell me about that. Let's see, you were a hero, blanket over the face.
Lady, she's been dead. We moved past that.
All right. Oh, there's Cody.
Cody!
Hi, Cody.
He will be joining us next week, we hope. We've sent an invite to him, but he won't respond to any of his texts or emails.
I think he's afraid we'll make him work for no money.
Well, that's what we did before.
I was going to say, that's what he's been doing for the last 5 years.
Why wouldn't he?
Why would we change now? Let's see. Phyllis really needed these laughs today.
Oh, good.
Oh, Phyllis, I never would have thought you'd come here for a laugh, but we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
What is Kelly doing? She is sitting at work processing material, eating Christmas cookies.
Mm.
Listen to Kris talking about a dead woman on a plane. Hey, that's a perfect Friday night.
You got that right.
So it's almost like a date night. We miss.
See, hopefully this show will grow to the point someday where we can hire staff and Cody and a group of producers or something.
Oh, that'd be something.
And then the camera went off. Are we still there?
I think we're still there.
Okay.
Can everybody still see us?
And then
we're still showing up here.
And then what I'd like to do, ideally, is reenact that whole thing.
Oh.
Set up a reenactment.
I'm a big fan of that. We have the ability now. We have camera and sound and the whole thing. We could definitely.
Oh, we were talking about the stupid things, right? Weren't we talking about that?
Oh, right, the short. Yeah, pulling stuff out of your shorts.
Yes, pulling stuff out of the shorts. I knew it'd come back to us. We're that age now, too. Why did we come on this live?
Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, what are we doing here?
What we can do, if you just watch it, it's so stupid, but I'm going to start finding more of those. And if you have any, send them to me and I'll do them. Because it got 3,000 views in less than an hour. And I'm like, why is this getting watched? It's so stupid. And then it does. And then there's things that we put up that I'm like, God, this means so much. It'll be like 9 views.
Well, it's funny too, because, Katie was like, how is this getting, I mean, I get it. It's kind of interesting, but how's it 3,000? I said, I opened a box of cookies that got 2,800 views. This is the craziest place. I love being here. I'm so excited about what we're getting ready to start a series of shorts that's kind of like a game.
Yes.
That you're going to get to play along with, and I'm jazzed. Chris's idea, but I love the idea, and we'll be getting those up in the next week or so. New show coming up. It will get posted Sunday night, and we're really excited because we've got a really special guest.
Yes.
She was on season 10 of The Voice. Her name's Angie Kay, and she was on Team Blake, and now she's an independent,
very talented.
Yeah, independent artist, and it's the promise that we have made, which is we're going to be starting to get more new artists, people that maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't, and get them on the show. And we love the fact that we don't have to chop interviews down to like 3 minutes anymore. Well, it can be a long conversation.
And you know what I've learned is, and this is not, we're not saying anything terrible toward radio, because radio has been great for us for our career, but in music, they're so far behind. I don't know. I think it's because everybody wants to be safe in radio because they're afraid you'll punch out if you're not playing the right songs. And I mean, even years ago, they were like, "Oh no, we can't play that yet." And we're like, "It's #1 in the country," and it's like, we're not ready for it yet." And they'd wait till it's okay. Now everybody knows it. Now we'll start playing it. We can get these new artists on and give them a platform to be heard and grow their audience. And so we're really excited about that because we love music.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm hopeful that, I mean, obviously country is where our bread has been buttered for the last many, many, many years. But excuse me, we both have a lot of loves of music outside of that genre, and we're hoping to get some more folks on as well. And we're going to actually shooting to get comedians on too, because I just...
Well, somebody's got to be funny on here.
Well, it ain't going to be us.
You got that right.
So let's see. I got a quick. Can't spend a lot of time because you have to get to Lily's play.
Yeah, Lily's got a play tonight. I forget the name of it, but I've been running lines with her, and I'm in trouble for this, by the way. In the play, she plays a director.
Okay.
And she's very frustrated by everybody because there's always something coming up, and she's like, "No, you got to be on the right side." Well, I am on the right side. You're on the stage right. That kind of stuff.
Sure. Okay.
And there's a couple of places where those, when they're 12, 13, and someone forgets a line, it's pretty brutal to watch them try to think of it. Yeah. And so she's worried. I mean, she's great. She's so good, but she's worried she's going to forget a line. And I'm like, you got this. So I said, "You're the director, right?" And I was like, easy. You don't have to learn your lines.
Just make up whatever you want.
I said, put it on a clipboard, put your script on a clipboard and just and be like, when you're directing people and pushing them around and look frustrated and go,
I mean,
and then you can look down and see what your line is. And then if you forget your line, you can always just go, and she goes, "I think I'm going to do that." And now it's like, so we're teaching her to take the easy way out. And I was like, Courtney Cox did it on Friends and made $1 million an episode. I'm okay with it.
I don't want to say that this is a pattern with you, but it's like, okay, who's going to entertain us for Thanksgiving? Who's going to do this? It's like, the easy way out is kind of your thing.
It's my hero ability.
Yes,
that's my superpower.
I can say, having done I don't even know how many shows.
I was going to say, how many plays do you think you've done?
I don't know. Several hundred. Wow. Over the years. But I got into it when I was 12, so I did it all through high school, all through college. I just love it. It was my dream to do that. And, things change. You have kids. Everything goes, haywire. They ruin your dreams, is what I'm saying. I love my kids. Just kidding. But only one time did I ever sweat for getting my lines, and it was when I did a one-man show.
Mm-hmm.
And the author's name is David Sedaris, and he is hilarious. He comes around, he speaks and does essays. He's written books. His sister, Amy Sedaris, is James Caan's secretary in Elf.
Oh, wow.
So if you watch Elf for the holiday,
yes.
she's the one, you just made my day.
Yes.
Okay, so her brother...
She used to be on Letterman all the time.
Yeah. Her brother, very famous too, very funny, but he wrote something called the Santaland Diaries, and I highly recommend you read it if you're a reader. I know you're not.
Sam I Am Diaries? What?
The Santaland Diaries.
Oh, gotcha.
When he was trying to become a writer and a comedian, he would take, like anybody, odd jobs and whatever he could do, so he became an elf at the Macy's, like the biggest Santa display in the country. And it's the stories that he had and all the crap he had to go through, and it's hilarious.
I still want to do it. If we can get 500, what would be a fair amount of subscribers we need to get? we have some radio stories that people will get angry. There may be lawsuits involved that have happened over the
Well, we should probably start a Patreon and make people pay for those.
Yeah, I would say we'll tell these stories and name names.
Yeah.
But you have to.
There's something there. So anyway, when I did that, they turned it into a play, and it's a one-man show, and it's me being David Sedaris and the whole thing. So you're on stage for, an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes with no one to, and I was terrified. Now, the plus side is if you mess up, you're not messing anybody else up. But if you really screw it and you skip like 10 pages and you try to go back and pick it up, so I did keep a script in like a big gift box just in case I needed to do something. I could go over and pretend that I was doing something and check it if I had to. And I luckily never had to use it. But memorizing, 100 pages of dialogue is a challenge for sure.
I think that's brilliant. And you know what? To do a one-man show or whatever for an hour and a half, I remember Leanne Womack mentioned this one time because we were complaining about these artists that, well, that's all she does. She's a professional complainer. That these artists that are dancing, I mean, in pop or country now, but they're dancing around and they got these dance shows and they lip sync half the time. And it's just all these fireworks and everything. And people will complain about like George Strait or something else. He just stood there the whole time and sang. And to me, if you can stand there for an hour and a half
and hold people captivated,
a comedian does that, a play, an artist that can stand there. I remember Don Williams at the Ryman walked out, tipped his hat, sat down, sang for an hour and a half, stood up, tipped his hat, walked off the stage, and everybody's going, that's the greatest concert I've ever seen.
It's just, you have to have a certain something, that charisma,
that
power.
it.
Yeah, that it factor for sure. Well, when you think it factor, you think Don Williams.
I do.
Seriously, though.
I love that guy can tell a story in a song. Yeah. You feel like you're there.
Some country knowledge. Go check out Don Williams if you want. Let's see. I think we probably should wrap this up. I want to make sure you have time to get
I got to get there. If I'm late, it's going to be an issue.
That's no good. We love you very much. We really appreciate you watching our lives, watching our content here. Again, if you see this and then you go check out some other things, if you've never come to the channel before, we hope you will. Hit that subscribe button, like our stuff, share it. Let people know we're doing this.
Can you share from YouTube to your Facebook? I think you can.
Yeah, of course. We do.
Yeah, I was going to say, please do that, folks. Get your friends to
something you like
to subscribe.
Share it. Say, hey, check these guys out. Subscribe. Yeah. We're asking you to do all the heavy lifting, basically. So that's important to us.
We'll have to get real jobs if you don't help.
I'm not willing to do that.
Never.
I have a story I was going to tell tonight, but we got to get you going. So look for not the next show, but the show after. You've got a crazy Kroger story.
Yes.
And I've got a crazy Taco Bell story about an insane man driving for DoorDash. You're going to want to hear those stories for sure.
Who orders DoorDash from Taco Bell?
I've done it.
Oh, wow.
Hey, look, sometimes when it's...
You pay $20 for someone to bring you a 40-cent burrito?
Yeah. Hey, their prices have actually gone up.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit more. But, hey, when it's a certain time of night and you can't drive and you're hungry and you're craving Taco Bell...
I get it.
You will pay a premium.
I get it.
Anyway, those stories are coming. Don't forget to watch the show that we're putting up Sunday night. Again, Angie K is going to be joining us. Really, she's most of that show. We're excited about it.
And check our shorts. And share those, too, so we can let people know there's a lot of content on the page.
Right. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. We're going to get this thing fixed where you can watch on other platforms. We actually started a Twitch account.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter said, you guys got to get on Twitch. You should be streaming on Twitch.
I don't know what that is.
So we're going to be doing that, too. But we'll figure it all out. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Happy birthday to you on Sunday.
Thank you.
Tell Lily I said break a leg.
I will.
And we will see you guys very, very soon. Take care.